So Rob, we have a viewer email here. I'm going to summarize what Tony is asking about, but essentially he went to take a look at a Zenith Defy Skyline 36 mil, and he really liked the watch, but he felt like the authorized dealer was very pushy, like, hey, make a decision. Do you want this, yes or no? And he felt rushed, so he ended up leaving, and he is considering going to a different AD. They don't have it in stock. They'd have to order it. It'd be a little bit more expensive. And he's just got some apprehension about ordering a watch, paying more, and maybe it has a QC issue, and he feels like he's on the hook, and he doesn't want to have a negative experience, but he's never spent $8,000 before on a watch. So he's asking for some input on how to navigate negotiating with an authorized dealer, how to deal with uncomfortable situations where you feel like they're being pushy, or you're just maybe rushed and not enjoying the purchase experience. Do you have any opinion or input that you could share with Tony here?
Yeah.
Let's kind of ramble and talk about this experience.
Sure. So, I mean, first and foremost, I have opinions on everything.
Okay.
You never have to worry about that. But no, so Tony is looking at a great watch.
Yes.
I love that watch. The reality of it, though, Tony, is it's a 36 mil Defy.
Yeah.
And
nobody's asking for those.
Nobody
right now.
is asking for it outside of Tony and maybe 3 other people.
Yeah, I mean, most people
Okay.
are shopping the larger size.
Or the larger size, the skeleton, the chronos. You know, that's one good thing about that whole series is there's basically a
good
flavor
selection.
for everybody.
Yeah.
Right. So Tony needs to realize that it is a I don't want to call it less desirable because it's a desirable watch, but it's a less asked for.
In demand.
Yeah, a less in demand piece. So he should not be. He should not be put out by the AD, especially when you're asking for a watch that not everybody, he's not coming in asking for a Batman. He's not asking for
Daytona.
Can I get the Meteorite GMT Master 2? Like nobody.
Yeah.
I mean, so he needs to understand that
he has power.
He's coming from a position of negotiating power. Okay, he's got money in hand. He mentioned that in the email. Mm-hmm. He's got a watch in mind, so he's not necessarily wasting everybody's time going from case to case to case.
Yeah.
I really do feel like if he's getting put off, there's a lot of options that he has. Outside of the other AD that costs extra money, he is completely within his right to just ask the AD, like the manager or whatever, for a different sales rep.
100%.
So
you don't have to feel bad about doing that.
No. So in my personal life, I deal in real estate.
Yeah.
And I have a variety of different professionals that I work with. And when I refer somebody to a client, I tell my client right up from the very, very start, hey, I have no financial gain here. Like if you don't jive with this person and their personality or their delivery method, please let me know. I want to make sure
somebody else.
Yeah, I want to make sure it's the smoothest possible process. And once you do that, once you understand that not everybody is everybody else's cup of tea, it really does kind of free yourself up because you go, you know what? It's nothing against that person. You're just not my kind of person or my type of salesman.
Yeah.
Or
and
woman.
you don't have to apologize for it.
And you don't have to apologize. It's you buying a watch, and again, a watch that not everybody's asking for. You should 100% get a smooth and good experience because why are you going to the AD? Why aren't you then just going to Joma Shop and getting 15% off that watch or whatever it is?
Yeah. Well, another thing that I've done in the past, like I'm not afraid to, and I think this is advice for everyone, don't be afraid to make an offer because you have to have a starting point in a negotiation. And when you're buying a not in demand watch, there certainly is some wiggle room when it comes to the price.
Totally.
So even if you don't expect them to take it, you don't start off with, what you're comfortable spending. Start off a little bit less. Be like, hey, I'm looking for, 20% off on this example. I'm ready to go if you'll help me out and throw in some swag,
Yeah.
Like,
and
start somewhere.
Who knows? Maybe you end up with them eating the sales tax or whatever, something like that, and you got a pen out of the deal. Okay, cool. But you got something more than just simply showing up and saying, hey, I'll take that, swipe my card, and let's go.
What do you think happens though? Like maybe you come in with an insultingly low offer, like maybe it's a little bit too optimistic, and they're like barely willing to budge. You can tell that there's not really a meeting in the middle. What do you do, Rob? Like, if you're in Tony's situation, what do you do?
One, before I would even go into an AD, I would do as much research as you can on gray market, used, all that type
Go
of
on
stuff.
Chrono 24,
Yeah, go on Chrono 24.
eBay.
Kind of get a sense. Like if you see the Joma shops and the Watch Max and all these other sites, if they're offering 10% off that watch, I can almost assure you no AD is going to give you 10%. Right? That you're maybe going to get 5 at the very most. Or like I said, maybe they eat the tax for you or something like that.
So as long as you're coming in having done some
Yeah,
homework.
you don't want to just show up and go, hey, I
Give me
want
30
I
off.
want 35% off and a free winder. You know,
Yeah.
like, no. Come in with a reasonably researched, based in fact offer,
Yeah.
and then see how they respond. And if they tell you, see you later, well, guess what?
There's 5 other Zenith ADs in this state. I'm
Yes.
going to go talk to other people.
And let's just say maybe that's the only AD for that specific watch. Well, guess what? There are a ton of other ADs that are willing to ship. It might take a few phone calls or a few emails. Outside of Rolex, one thing that I've learned from buying watches from across the nation, and I'm sure you can attest to this, there are ADs that will ship you the watch. Again, outside of Rolex, because that's about the one brand that I've consistently run up against.
Like local people.
Yes,
only.
where you have to be in the shop. And I have funneled a fair amount of business through some ADs, and they'll tell me straight up, dude, I know you've bought from me and you've bought multiple watches from me, but my manager will not let me send this out the door shipping wise. You have to be at the counter to swipe it.
Yes.
And so once you go in with that kind of understanding, you're not offended and you understand you're not the only fish, in the sea kind of a thing. So you can go, okay, thank you so much for your time. I wish we could have worked something out. I'm going to go online and find another AD.
Yeah, I love it.
Do the AD search and just start from there. That's how I found my Black Bay back in the day.
I remember that.
I literally did a search and started calling up ADs throughout the nation to see who had it in that configuration that I wanted and was willing to ship it.
Yeah. Well, another part to Tony's question is he is concerned about spending this amount of money. He's never spent $8,000 before, and he is worried about maybe getting a lemon if he has to have something sent in. And so I would tell Tony, you might be embarrassed, but if you go to the AD, they've got it in, pull out that loop, look on the dial, see if there's particulates in here. I would imagine that you're not going to find any. But if you're worried about it, it's better to do a thorough inspection in the store than swipe the card, take it home, and then do a thorough inspection and then go, oh no, there's a scratch on this, hand or whatever.
Yeah, for sure. And again, being open and communicative to your sales rep, letting them know like, hey, I'm just giving you a heads up from the very start that I'm a particular person. Please don't be offended, but that's just who I am. Like, put it out there so that they understand, like when you pull the loop out, like, oh, okay, he wasn't lying, he really is gonna look. That will also kind of form that conversation, if you will. Again, showing them I have high standards. You better not show me the floor example that's been kicked around for 6 months. I want the fresh one in the back that hasn't seen the light of day. Again, open, communicative, and you would be surprised at how much smoother that process will go.
Yeah, when there's a good exchange of information, that's only helping both sides, I think.
Exactly. They understand who they're dealing with better than if you didn't bring that up. Being that this is his first big purchase like that, he should have the best possible experience. He should expect that. He shouldn't have to settle when you're buying an $8,000 watch.
Yeah.
It's not a $400, Seiko or something like that where the bezel's a little wonky or something like that.
I mean, there are QC issues that happen.
Yes.
They generally happen more with the affordable, but they still happen with the luxury.
Totally.
I've gone in, I've looked at precious metal Rolex, meteorite dial, Daytona, and the chronograph hand is like a little bit off when it's supposed to be dead on center.
Right.
Stuff like that happens.
Right, and that's what the manufacturer warranty is for. So let's say Tony does get the watch and he's looking it over and something is wrong. Well, guess what? He's right there. Get it fixed. I know it's a hassle, but he shouldn't be worried about that. Just get it fixed.
Yeah. If you have any questions, topics that you would like to, to answer, address, and riff off of, let us know below. You can place it in the comments section or you can send an email if you like.